She is a champion
of women in manufacturing.
She is passionate
about advancing technology and inspiring the next generation.
She is
the one and only Megan Zimba, and she's ready to host the Creators Lounge.
The Creators Lounge is proud to welcome AMT.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I am Megan Zimba in the Creators Lounge here at IMTS 2024, and I'm super excited because I'm sitting here with Michelle Edmonson. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hello, Megan. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to sit down and have a chat with you. So you've been part of IMTS for a while, right?
I have. So my first IMTS was 1996 because I was with the registration company at the time, but I have been with AMT for 20 years. So this is my 20-year anniversary of coming to being part of producing IMTS.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you.
That's exciting. So give us a little bit more background about yourself. Like, what is your experience and how did you get involved with engineering and manufacturing, and how did that lead to AMT?
So as I said, I used to be part of the registration company. So my background is actually trade shows and operations. And so I started there and I did a lot of the big trade shows for a while. And then in 2004, came over to AMT and really got attached to the setting the show up in more than just registration and all that goes in with it. And then just fell in love with the manufacturing industry. It's a great group of human beings.
Yeah, it is. And IMTS is just a massive show, and it's really cool to see everyone. I've met a couple of first-timers here this year, and they were just completely blown away. But what is it specifically for you that you love about this show?
So I love the energy that it brings. I love that people really rely on IMTS to make their businesses run, and the world relies on those businesses to run. And so I really feel like we're making a huge difference for the betterment of society and the world.
How has the show evolved since you came on board with AMT?
Oh, so much. So when I first came to AMT, it's always been big, but it wasn't as technology focused. It was actually called the Machine Tool Show. And so we've always had a lot of machines on the floor, but we didn't have the technology always behind it. So since in the last 20 years, we have had a lot. We have had the additive sector come through. We've had digital manufacturing come in, the software sector, and now this time the automation sector. So we just keep growing in that digital space, in that digital world, and kind of the what's next. And
so what is the power behind IMTS? Why should companies come here and exhibit? Why should attendees come and visit the companies? And even if people can't make it here, why should they look at all of the virtual content that's being created around the show?
So IMTS is about three things. One is connection. So people connect here. They connect here in person. They connect online. They just make that connection of, like here, we're connecting. It's almost like a family reunion. They connect with their businesses. They come and they do that. The second reason is they come to solve problems. They know that they need solutions in their shops. They know that the exhibitors can help them. Then they know that this is the place where they are going to get what they need. And then the third is an educational component and that training, if you will, which actually goes more to the, if you weren't able to get here, that's where the virtual component comes from, where you will get that education of the technology and the techniques that you need.
One of my favorite things, too, about this show, in consideration of the education portion of it, is you guys have the Student Summit that's downstairs, and I know I'm going to be talking to Greg later on about that, but there's kids walking around the main floor, too, and just to see the look on their faces, and like, I just helped a group find the Fanic robot over there. So what are some of your favorite things about walking the trade show floor and seeing it grow every single year?
Yeah, so I do a couple things. One, I usually walk the trade show floor before it opens because I really like to see the new technologies that are out there, see what exhibitors are bringing, see what people will see, almost like a sneak peek, and it's quiet and it's almost surreal. And that's actually one of my favorite parts. And then I like to see people's reactions. I mean, there was a time that you had to be 18 to come in.
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, when you talk to Greg, he's grown Student Summit immensely, but it's not just students' faces that are exciting. Like, just to watch the awe. I usually stand on the inside, especially on opening day, and watch people come in, and to see the awe on their faces for the exhibits and the machines and what they're about to embark on. And it's just such a heartwarming feeling.
Well, we're going to take a quick break from our sponsor here, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the ways that exhibitors can really prioritize their ROI here. So we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere.
You are watching The Creators Lounge. Gain insights as our hosts talk to expert guests about key industry topics. Come see the action live on the trade show floor. Visit booth 338 600. See you at The Creators Lounge.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Megan Zimmerman. I'm still chilling out with Michelle here at the Creators Lounge. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, Michelle, so there is some debate around the value of trade shows, right? And how exhibitors can really prioritize their ROI. So what are some of your suggestions on how exhibitors here at IMTS can get the most out of exhibiting?
You know, it's funny, Megan, we have this conversation a lot with our exhibitors. And I mean, our exhibitors, there's no question, they are absolutely paying to be here and spending some money to be here. And there's a couple things that when we meet with them, not only do we tell them, they tell us. And so I'll go back to that connection piece, the connections and the customers and potential customers that they meet at IMTS, they cultivate, and sometimes they absolutely sell on the show floor. Sometimes it takes them 6 months. Sometimes it takes them a year. But we have our exhibitors tell us that within a year, they have sold enough of their equipment to make back what they spend for IMTS.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So accepting the challenge for bringing creativity and ingenuity to every IMTS, what are some of the things that you and your team do to really make it more exciting year after, well, it's not year after year or every 2 years, but every 2 years after 2 years, how do you make it more exciting?
So there are a couple things. One is if you're here, you can go to see the main stage. So when we first started that, it was a stage itself, but it was a studio. It was almost hidden away. It was in a ballroom, and we did it, and it was really so that people could see IMTS that weren't here. We push it out. We still push it out, but then we brought it here. It's in the Grand Concourse. There are presentations all day long. There's live going on, so there's a lot of buzz. The Creators Lounge, we brought this to IMTS, so that's something. And then the Emerging Technology Center is one of our biggest attractions. What is coming next? All the exciting in the technology space.
I have not made my way over there yet, so I have to make sure I get over there because I heard it's fantastic.
You really do.
How does IMTS serve as an industry resource or a conduit to manufacturing growth and prosperity?
Oh, that is a loaded question. IMTS is absolutely the industry resource. One is just physically being here. People come here we have small shops that come with a part in their hand and say, I need 1,000 of these next week. And so they know to come here to talk to the exhibitors, to be a resource. They also come to IMTS.com. We have online showrooms, and all of our exhibitors have an online showroom where they can connect and understand who they can talk to, where they can meet people. If they need to find some distributors in different parts of the world, they can do that as well. And whether it's IMTS, the physical show, or IMTS.com, it's a trusted resource. in the industry.
But you guys also have other conferences that are happening at the same time.
We do.
And I just heard that you have an automation conference as well, too. So it's not just a place to walk around and see booths.
That is correct. We have 10 conferences here at IMTS, and they're all over. We have 3 programs. One's we call them the Elevate programs. So one is for job shops, one is for women in the industry, and then one is for the Latin American community. And they have receptions and so some networking opportunities and conferences that go with them. But then we have 10 other conferences, whether it's in automation, whether it's in additive, whether it's in just technical details of traditional manufacturing. They're pretty well attended.
This is like truly the Super Bowl of manufacturing. So we're going to take a quick break with our sponsor. So don't go away because we have a few more questions for Michelle. So stay tuned.
Additive manufacturing has grown from a niche prototype building process to a production-ready technology enabling new opportunities. It's a manufacturing tool that no one should be without. Building on its annual flagship event in Frankfurt, Germany, Formnext is bringing the most comprehensive, best-in-class additive manufacturing trade show to the United States at Formnext Chicago in 2025.
In my opinion, Formnext is the most important additive show in the world. We go to Formnext in order to find new products to offer to our customers and to get a good pulse of how the industry is doing.
You'll find buyers and sellers there. You're finding and talking to people that are looking for additive manufacturing solutions. And it's everywhere from people who have never worked with additive before to people who have been in working with the technology for a long time and looking kind of for the latest and greatest.
Formnext, the entire ecosystem of industrial additive manufacturing in one place. Join us for the inaugural Formnext Chicago in 2025. Discover more at formnextchicago.com.
And we're back, and we're still here in the Creators Lounge at IMTS. And Michelle, I want to talk to you about some upcoming events because AMT isn't just involved in IMTS, but there's some other shows that you do. So what's next for AMT?
Yeah, so AMT is producing in the near future 3 more events, 4 really. One of them is MTForecast, which is a forecasting conference all about what's coming next in the manufacturing space. And from the economist standpoint, that's back here in Schaumburg
super cool.
in October. In February of 2025 in San Antonio, Texas, we're going to have our MFG meeting, which is where the industry comes together and in a conference space, and you get to hear kind of high level what's going on from that standpoint.
I think I've attended 1 or 2 of those.
I think you have as well. That is correct. And then we have 2 new trade shows coming in 2025. So one of them will be here in April 8th through the 10th. It's called Formnext. It's all about additive manufacturing. That'll be right here in McCormick Place in the West Building, and it is the entire ecosystem of additive manufacturing. So that's a really good one to come to.
Yeah.
And then the next one we're partnering with Masago and Mesa Frankfurt. There's going to be a show called SPS, which is Smart Production Solutions. That's in Atlanta in September of 2025. So it's all about smart production solutions and automation.
I would be interested in attending that because I'm a huge nerd for like smart solution stuff.
It'll be great.
What is IMTS's mission going forward to providing additional resources to members and community as well?
So we have IMTS Plus, which is basically our website, imts.com, and we keep it going with new, fresh content that helps you find solutions, helps you connect with exhibitors, because all the exhibitors, that we connect the buyers and sellers, and helps people understand content and get the needs that they want and see the new products coming out. And that's 24/7.
Yeah, and you guys have actually a couple of video series on there too. I'm
We have
not
a lot
trying
of
to
them.
self-promote the one that I'm on, but it's the Moving On, Moving Up series. But it's
Which is one of the better ones, obviously.
yeah, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, there's a lot of cool episodes on there, and there's a lot of cool interviews to meet individuals too.
It's true. We have
industry.
a lot of different episodes.
Yeah.
And again, we refilm them constantly to get fresh episodes. So
Yeah.
Moving On, Moving Up is a really good one. We have The World According To,
Yeah.
which is where you can hear from industry leaders. We have Road Tripping with Steve, where we take one
That
of
was a
our
good one.
guys, Steve. He's just such a great personality, and he goes into shops to see what's going on. And
Yeah.
then we have one called Smarter Shop, where our host goes into a shop for easy, quick, easy to implement in financially sound
Yeah.
solutions. So there's a lot going on, not to mention webinars and content and
Yeah.
all different kinds of things on there.
So I know we're only halfway through this week for IMTS. We're not done with this show, but what can we look forward to in 2 years at IMTS 2026? Is there any teasers that you can give us? Are there any clues that you can give us to expect to see at IMTS 2026?
So IMTS 2026, I can tell you just from talking to the exhibitors and the buzz around, automation will be larger.
Oh, cool.
Additive will be larger, and digital manufacturing will be larger. So at this show we have Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, all three of which are planning to come back with a larger space. So bringing in more of the tech community as well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Michelle, is there any final words of advice that you want to give to our listeners before I let you go?
I would say the best thing to do is take it all in. Understand what you're doing. If you haven't been here yet, come down, do some planning, maybe see who you want to see. But truly, this is an industry where people are just great-hearted, good people that will help each other out. So just come on down and enjoy it.
I love it. And if you're an exhibitor wanting to exhibit, make sure to reach out to Michelle, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
I am happy to talk to anybody that wants to exhibit. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for joining me today on this episode of The Creator Zone. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you want to learn more about IMTS and more information, please contact Michelle, but also check out their IMTS Plus channel because it has a ton of resources on there. And if you haven't been here, get here or come in 2026. Thanks, everyone. Bye.